this morning we're going to do some glute sets. Um, what's a glute set? It's when you contract your butt muscles um, and make them work. So, the easiest glute set that I know how to start with is a seated glute set, and that's just squeezing your butt muscles. And so, what a lot of people think is that means squeezing your thigh muscles or arching your back. It doesn't. It means imagining that there's a quarter between your butt cheeks and that somebody is trying to take that quarter. And you need to close your butt cheeks to hold onto your quarter, feet firmly on the ground, sort of 90 degrees, 90 with your feet and your hips, just sitting, relaxed. And then you squeeze your butt. And if you see your body go up, that is a seated glute set. So if you are going back or not moving or going forward a little bit, you're doing a crunch, not a glute set. You should feel this. Good morning, Megan. You should feel this in your butt. Your butt is the one that's working for this. So again, you squeeze your butt and you lift up. Seated glute set. If you want to drive through your heels a little bit, put a little pressure through your heels to give a little feedback, that's okay too. Once you get the hang of it, stop driving through your heels and just work your butt. Your butt is really important in posture. When you think about your posture stabilizers, it's your shoulder blades, your abdominals, and your glutes. They're sort of a 3-point harness system that keeps your body in check. So you've got your shoulder blades and your butt in the back, and your abdominals wrapping around the front, and that sort of keeps that pillar in the middle nice and stable. When we get tight in the front, we get tight in the hip flexors, we get tight in the back. That sort of reverses direction. So you have like weak pecs and weak hip flexors, and then a weak back supporting your spine. No good. So if you're in a seated position, you need to work on your butt while you're in the seated position. A glute set when you lay flat on your belly and just lift your legs. That's a really good way to get that glute in the sort of elongated where you're working on extension. But this is a really good one that you can do during the day. You can, if you're driving, you can do this. You're driving, and people will just think you're like, I don't know, rocking out to Sweet Beach or something. When you're on a meeting, if your camera's off, probably better. Otherwise, your coworkers are just going to see this. I mean, if you don't care about what your coworkers see, neither do I. But what I do want you to do is I want you to feel it in your glutes. So, invisible quarter, imaginary quarter between your cheeks, and just squeeze on it. For a little extra, you can squeeze on it and hold it, or you can squeeze on it and lift your pelvic floor up. Now, here's the fun thing about a pelvic floor contraction. If you're not good at it, you get one contraction. It gets contracted and it gets tight and stuck up top, and then it takes its sweet time relaxing, and that's okay. The point is to feel the right muscles doing the right job. When you do a glute set and add a pelvic floor contraction at the top, you don't move extra. Your pelvic floor is like the bottom bowl of your body. It holds everybody in and keeps things out that shouldn't be in. And its job is inherently to support. And so when you contract it, there's not a lot of motion happening there. Your sits bones are going to get pulled a little bit closer together, so you might feel that. But nobody's going to, sorry, I just big sip of coffee and now it's there. Nobody is going to see a pelvic floor contraction. Nobody's going to see a Kegel or a quick flick. And so if you want to do your glute set, perk up on your bum, on your cheeks, and then lift your pelvic floor, and then relax your pelvic floor. That's a really good way to practice your pelvic floor contractions. If you're just starting with pelvic floor contractions and those Kegels and quick flicks, do it laying down. Take gravity out of the situation until you actually get a feel for what that contract and relax feels like. Because you can contract and relax your pelvic floor. Those muscles are designed for both contraction and relaxation. And also you can do a quick pulse, which helps with all sorts of other things. One being incontinence. But once you get the hang of that, if you want to add that to your glute set, and this is just to fire those glutes because we're sitting all day, and so you get really stuck up in your hip flexors, you get really stuck up in that posture. And this just does a good job when you fire your glutes. The rest of your postural muscles sort of like kick in by accident. They're like, oh, we're doing the thing. And so your butt starts going, and then your abdominals kick in a little bit because they remember where they're supposed to be. But then your upper body starts thinking, oh, we're going to be off balance because she's bouncing. And so you start to squeeze your shoulder blades by proxy, not because you're doing anything or thinking of anything, but just because your body's like, hey, we want to be up in space the right way. So yeah, glute sets, exercise of the day. I hope you guys have a great week. It's a beautiful day. It's going to get even better this week up here in New Hampshire, or New England. And yeah, questions. Shoot me questions. I'm waiting. I can't wait. All right. Bye, guys. Have a great day.